always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companion and his ummah. And third one, I would like to welcome our guest lecturer, Professor Ridhwan. Assalamualaikum, Professor.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. How are you?
How are you, Prof?
Again, Alhamdulillah.
With you again, Prof, on the second round of our guest lecture series. Alhamdulillah. So, dear students, we are so blessed today to have our Professor Dr. Muhammad Ridhwan, that will present and share his humble knowledge and experience in the context of Islamic economics. And for your information, that right now, Prof. Ridhwan is the Dean from Faculty of Economic and Muamalah, Universiti Sains Islam Malaysia. For your information, that between UMY and USIM, we have very close relationship since years ago. Even before pandemic COVID-19, we always send our students to have exchange program to the Faculty of Economic and Management, Muamalah and Management. And also some of the USIM students came to UMY to conduct the same exchange program. So hopefully once the pandemic over, we can visit again USIM, and Prof. Ridhwan, most welcome, Prof, to UMY to have physical interaction with us in the form of teaching or research, training, and other else, Prof. So now Prof. Ridhwan will share with us on the topic of very interesting topic actually, students. Is about Shariah principle for Islamic financial markets. So because you come from UMY and some of you coming from Islamic economics, international program for Islamic economics and finance, I think this topic is very relevant and very, I think very interesting to be discussed. In fact, that the Indonesia in particular are now promoting Islamic financial institutions, and the government are very committed to support the growth of Islamic finance in Indonesia. With that, before I pass to the Prof. Ridhwan, for your information, that Prof. Ridhwan, in terms of the background, so he actually was graduated from here from University of Malaya for his bachelor degree, master degree, and PhD degree in Islamic banking and economics. With that, I pass to Prof. Ridhwan. Time is yours, Prof, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dimas, for some brief background on this exchange outbound exchange lecture series. So thanks for this invitation. Okay, so I would like to welcome all students. Okay, perhaps what I'm going to share this afternoon will be related to your program, or perhaps you need to know some of the Shariah principle that you may apply when you after you finish your program, finish your study, perhaps you can use all this principle on Shariah principle related to Islamic market, especially not only in Indonesia but all over the world, inshallah. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Salatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. Okay, so let me first share my slide. Okay, can you see my slide clearly? Is it okay?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. To slideshow. Okay, so slideshow. Okay, so the topic that I choose, perhaps may related most of you, or inshallah, all these principles, Shariah principle will be beneficial for your future career. Okay, Shariah principle for Islamic financial market. Okay, so we're talking about the Shariah principle. There are lots of principles. So for this afternoon, okay, I may just choose some of the principle. Actually, there's a lot of Shariah principle that related to Islamic financial markets, but because of limitation of the time, so I choose only some of the Shariah principle or the major principle, Shariah principle for Islamic financial market. Okay, we go to the framework of Islamic financial institution and market, the framework of IFI and also Islamic financial market. Okay, generally they are quite similar compared to the conventional framework. Generally is similar, but of course there's some differences, little bit differences when we look at the accounting, also the audit standard. Okay, because of the differences of this set of regulation and also what we call the act. Okay, for instance, in Malaysia we have IBA, Islamic Banking Act, 1983, but now we use the IFSA, IFSA, Islamic Financial Services Act 2013 to replace the IBA in 1983, because Islamic financial institution or Islamic banking institution started in Malaysia in 1983 with the formation of the Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. Okay, so we have the IBA 1983, and then now we use the IFSA. Okay, we follow the IFSA 2013, but until now there's no new regulation for Malaysia. We still use the IFSA 2013, although IFSA 2013 quite obsolete in terms of regulation. Some of the regulation need to what we call to replace some of the with the new or dynamic changes in the market. Okay, but until now we still use the IFSA 2013. Okay, okay. However, although they are similar, there are some differences. There are some major elements that differentiate conventional banking and finance, conventional market with the Islamic banking and finance, with the Islamic financial market. So the differences we can call this Shariah compliant framework to differentiate between the conventional framework with the Islamic framework. Okay, we call Shariah compliant framework. Okay. So for the Shariah framework, okay, of course, we need to understand some of the terminologies. We have the Shariah Fiqh and also Muamalat. Okay, so sometimes people confuse between Shariah and Fiqh. Okay, so today I will share some of the differences. Okay, between Shariah, Fiqh, and also Muamalat. Shariah is viewed from legal perspective is a fixed element of Islamic law, which is something that ordained or from the God, ordained from the God. For instance, 5 times prayers, prohibition of RIBA. Okay, Psalm in Ramadan. This Sharia. Okay, element of Sharia that fixed in the Islamic law. Okay, and then it's wide and encompassing various branches of Islam. Okay, normally it comes in a generality. Okay, not specific, because the specific of the ruling will be discussed or be explained in the Hadith, the Sunnah. Okay, so Sharia normally mentioned in the Quran, the Holy Quran, the basic principle, okay, of Islam. Okay, but when talk about the faith, there's an element of human reasoning and also understanding. Okay, observation of the ulama, opinion of the ulama is a faith. But Sharia solely from the Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So there's some little bit differences between Sharia and also fiqh. Okay. 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 So under the fiqh, we have various types of fiqh or the Islamic law. So Islamic commercial law or fiqh mu'amalah is one of the element, one of the types of Islamic law. So we talk Islamic law, we have various components. Okay, Islamic law of purification or worship, Islamic family law, we have Islamic criminal law, Islamic law of inheritance, fara'id, and etc. So Islamic commercial law is fiqh muamalah is one of the component under the Islamic law or Shariah Islamiyah. Okay. Okay, we go to muamalat. Okay, so muamalat is a set of rules of fiqh related to worldly matters such as business, trading, commerce, transaction, lending and borrowing. Okay, and also involve, in a general meaning, also involve all the social interaction between human. Okay, marriage, inheritance, wakaf, fara'id. There's a general definition of muamalat. But nowadays, when we talk about muamalat, fiqh muamalat, we always associate it with the economics and also finance or trading or transaction between two parties or more parties. Okay, because muamalat, some of the scholars focus only the trading aspect, the commerce or transaction, rather than muamalat in all aspect of social interaction. Okay, so nowadays it seems like we talk about muamalat, more focus on the trading or economics, transaction, business, and etc. Okay. Okay, so the rules and practice of fiqh muamalat, okay, can be derived from two sources. Okay, we have the primary sources and also we have the secondary sources. For example, of primary sources, we have the Quran and Hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, and then we have the secondary sources. For example, we have maslahah, we have qiyas, analogy, we have ijtihad, uruf, and etc. So we have two types or two sources of Islamic law, okay, or Shariah. Okay. Okay, so this is a diagram to show the connection or relationship. Okay, Islam. So we have the tauhid or akidah, component related to the belief, oneness or relationship between man to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And then we have fiqh. Okay, we have ibadah under ibadah. Okay, and then we have the element of akhlaq or tasawwuf, a conduct of human conduct. Okay, so we have three elements. Okay, tauhid, akidah, we have fiqh, okay, or Shariah. Okay, and then also we have akhlaq. Okay, so here I put the ibadah under the fiqh. Okay, okay, these are sources of Shariah. Okay, we have primary sources, Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, and Qiyas, and then we have a secondary sources, maslahah, istihsan, istishab, sad zara'i, uruf. So actually to have to certain or to make some of the ruling, okay, we have wajib, sunnah, makruh, haram, okay, prohibited, compulsory. Okay, we have 5 types of ruling. The scholar need to find the sources not only from the primary sources, Quran and Sunnah, but also from the secondary sources. Some of the elements perhaps cannot be or not mentioned in the Quran, so the scholar will find in the Sunnah or Hadith, or if not mentioned in the Sunnah, they will refer to ijma, qiyas, maslahat, and so on. Okay, so it's not easier to make a particular ruling or hukum. Okay, but now seems that some people only focus on Quran and Sunnah. If there is no dalil or evidence from Quran and Sunnah, they consider that one is not Islamic or non-Shariah compliant. This is wrong. Okay, actually, sources to get the ruling is from both primary sources and also secondary sources. Okay. 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 This one I just skip because just simple definition of Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, and also Qiyas. Okay. I will explain further. Okay. Okay. Maslahah. Okay, is defined as a consideration that is proper or it leads to some kind of benefit or general goods or welfare. Although not mentioned in Quran and Sunnah, but sometimes, somehow, in our society, in Islamic ruling, we have that particular innovation. Okay, because why? Because we need that to give benefit to the people. Okay, either for religion, life, intellect, and also lineage. Okay, or property, and also property. Okay, example of the maslahah can put as issuance of currency. Okay, tax imposition. Okay, although we have a zakat, but also somehow tax is also important to spend, okay, to give to the government tax for other consumption for the country, okay, to build the house, to build the hospital, to build the university. Government need lots of money, then the government, of course, take money from the tax, okay. That one is a maslah, although we have the zakat, ruling on zakat, okay, but of course we also tax imposition, okay, and also issuance of currency, and perhaps now we have e-wallet, okay, to make the transaction, okay, more easier and smooth. So we have e-wallet, online transaction, that all is considered as maslahah. They although not mentioned in Quran and Sunnah, Ijma, but give benefit or to prevent harms, okay, to the society, okay. Okay, Istishab, okay, it's a constant sense of what was happening in the along with present without any interruption, meaning that something happened in the past continue until today, okay. Means it is presumption in the laws of evidence that state of affair known to exist in the past continues to exist until today, okay. The presumption of innocence, the girl established or marriage presumed continue until otherwise, okay. So what happened in the past continue until there's evidence that contrary to what happened in the past, okay. So example of application: A, who is a trading partner to B, claims that he has made no profit, so the presumption of absence will be in A's favor, okay, unless B can prove other, because at the beginning the trading the beginning of the any trading is with no profit. So when A claimed that he got nothing or got no profit, so the presumption of absence will be A favors, okay, because we follow the original what happened in the first place, okay. So that is this hub, okay. Or another example is A is known to be indebted to B, okay. A is presumed such until it is proved that he has paid the debt or was requited of it, okay, provided that B's loan to A is proven in the first place as a fact, okay. So until there's a proof or evidence that the debt has been settled, so it's considered as still in debt, okay. Okay, another secondary source is a istihsan or istislah. Okay, istihsan used by the Hanafi scholar, okay. Istislah is most on the term used by the Maliki scholar, okay. Public interest, and its method of exercising personal opinion in order to avoid any rigidity, okay, istihsan, okay. And then uruf, okay, common phenomenon that is happening in our daily life, okay. Uruf can be divided into two: general uruf and also special uruf, okay. So uruf also important because some of the method, for instance, in transaction are only known to the specific community, okay. Application: currency exchange rates, okay, standards on banking and finance, okay, wording in legal documentation, some terms and condition of contract, or we sometimes use the uruf tijari, okay, especially on the application of T+2 for the currency trading. We use T+2, okay, 2 days, okay. That one is considered as uruf tijari, although there's a gap involve the ribawi item currency, but because of uruf tijari, so the scholars, current scholars, agree that that one is considered as permissible, although there's a exchange of the currency with delay in payment, okay. Okay, and then sadu zarai, it implies blocking the means to an evil which is likely to materialize if the means to it is not blocked, okay. Provision of a creditor from taking a gift from his debtor, okay, because the debtor creditor cannot get any extra value, okay, from the debt, okay, unless they become the riba, okay, or the usury. Okay, we have the underlying rule. Okay, all contracts are deemed permissible except when there is contravention, okay, of any established principle in Sharia. Okay, there is an underlying rule. So everything in muamalat, in Islamic finance, is considered as permissible, halal, unless there is specific ruling, specific principle that mention that that particular contract or particular transaction is haram. Okay, so this underlying rule opens to various innovation, okay, in Islamic finance compared to ibadah. Okay, when we talk about ibadah, so not much room for the innovation to be practiced. Okay, and then for the kaidah fiqhiyah, okay, legal maxim, Islamic legal maxim, we have al-aslu fi al-uqud al-ibaha. Original of the contract is permissible. The originality for any particular contract is ibaha, okay, permissible, unless there is dalil that mention that that one is haram. Okay, the original rule in contract is permissible. Okay, so the parameter, avoidance of any contravention of the established principle and provision in Islamic law. So we have the principle, the benchmark and everything. So we need to avoid all of these provision element to make sure that all the transaction, business, trading are permissible and halal. Okay. Okay, what to do and what to avoid. Okay, conclusion of contract by mutual consent. Okay, antaradin. Okay, in the Quran mention about antaradin. Illa antakuna tijarata antaradin minkum. Except with the mutual agreement by both parties. Okay, the avoidance of riba. Okay, interest. The avoidance of gharar, uncertainty. The avoidance of transaction involving maysir, gambling, and also the avoidance of transaction involving prohibited commodities. Okay, so what to avoid? Number one is riba. Okay, riba, everyone know that meaning. Okay, riba is every excess in return of which no reward or equivalent counter value is paid. In short, every unjust enrichment is riba. Okay, you borrow 10,000 and then you need to pay 12,000. That 2,000 is considered as riba. Okay, extra value. Okay. Okay, so provision of riba in the Quran, actually there are 4 stages. Okay, first stages, compare riba with zakat and charity. Okay, the second stage, attaching the practice of riba with the Jews. Okay, and then third stage, prohibiting the practice of charging double and multiple riba. And then fourth stage, conclusively prohibiting all form of riba. So by stages. Okay, before Allah Subhanahu wa Taala prohibit riba, not what we call on the spot, prohibit riba, but on stages. Okay, to make sure that people at that time will follow, easy to follow the step. Okay, these are verses of Quran mention about what I have mentioned. Okay, so Ar-Rum verse 39. Okay, and then Baqarah 275. Okay, Baqarah 276 until 279, 278. Okay, and then Al-Baqarah 279, Al-Baqarah 280 until 281. Okay, okay, and also in hadith. Okay, there's a lot of hadith mentioned about prohibition of riba. Okay, one of the hadith, the Prophet Muhammad SAW cursed the receiver and the payer of riba. Okay, the receiver who receive the banking institution or takaful institution or the insurance, okay, or finance company, and the payer of the riba, the customer. Perhaps some of us, okay, the customer pay, the client of the bank pay the riba. Okay, the one who record it, okay, and the two witnesses to the transaction and said they are like incomes. Okay, so the curse from the Prophet Muhammad SAW, meaning that riba is very dangerous, okay, for the economy. So, and very involved zone operation to the society. Okay, riba can occur in two situations, riba ad-duyun and also riba al-buyu'. Okay, I will explain in detail. Riba in the loan and also riba in trading. Okay, trading. Okay, we have the fair exchange of goods or value, fair distribution of risk and return. But unfortunately, in riba, okay, oppressive, unfair distribution of risk and return, unjustified enrichment at expense of others. Okay, is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 275. Okay, wahadallahu al-bay' wa harrama riba. Okay, but of course, some people say that riba is similar to buy. Okay, trade is similar to that. Actually, it's not similar. Okay, they are totally different. Okay, this hadith from the Prophet Muhammad: gold for gold, silver for silver, white for white, barley for barley, dates for dates, salt for salt, light for light, equal for equal, hand to hand, yadan biyadin. If the commodities differ, then you may sell as you wish, provided the exchange is hand to hand or spot transaction. Okay, if there is different for this ribawi item, it's okay, but must hand to hand, yadan biyadin. Okay, currency roll, same denomination at par value, okay, spot, but a different denomination. Okay, US dollar with Malaysia ringgit or rupiah with ringgit Malaysia must be on the spot. Yadan biyadin. Similar to staple food. Okay, roll same type, par and also spot, but different type. Okay, between barley, exchange barley with dates, it's okay, but must be on spot. Okay, yadan biyadin. Okay, this is a rule governing the ribawi item. Okay, riba al-buyu'. Okay, so in the contemporary finance, okay, riba can occur in all interest-based lending activities. Okay, conventional bond, conventional insurance, conventional banking, etc. Fixed return on deposit in conventional banking. Okay, in the secondary trading of debt securities also can happen. Thus, to be Shariah compliant, all contract in Islamic financial market cannot be involved in any of the usurious activities mentioned above. Okay. Okay, riba ad-duyun. Okay, the debtor borrowed money to be paid in certain time, and the amount is more than the amount. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, borrowed 10,000, but you need to pay 12,000. That one is riba ad-duyun, riba in loan. Okay. Riba al-buyu', okay, mainly based on the saying of the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, as I mentioned, gold for gold, yadan biyadin, must be equal, hand to hand. Okay. So this commodity ribawi item, we have 6 ribawi item. Okay. Which make the illah cost for their prohibition medium of exchange. We have currency gold and silver and staple food. So we have 4 staple food and 2 medium exchange, currency gold and silver. So we have 6 ribawi item considered under the riba al-buyu', riba in the sales. Okay. Any other items, even though not mentioned in the hadith but serve the same purpose, will be considered as having the same illah by way of qiyas analogy. If that particular country, for instance, use rice as a staple food like Malaysia, so rice also be considered as ribawi item. Okay. Okay, riba ad-duyun in loans and certain controversial contract by al-inna, by Antain, some of the controversial issue, some of the time in Malaysia also, but now by inna is no longer what we call, has been phased out. Okay, in Malaysia by inna. Okay. Most of the Islamic financial institution, Shariah institution, no longer use by inna as the contract for any Shariah financial transaction. Okay, riba al-buyu' mainly by as-sarf, exchange of currency. Okay, we use 2 different types of riba. Okay, we go to the gharar. Okay, meaning of the gharar is uncertainty and hazard. Okay, example of this kind of sale in hadith that's considered as gharar: sale of fish in the sea, birds in the sky. Okay, sale of unborn calf in its mother's womb. Okay, sale of unrunaway animal. Okay, involve item which may or may not exist. That's why it involves gharar, uncertainty. Okay, As a range of negative connotation, okay, uncertainty, deception, risk, hazard, ignorance, etc. Okay, if there is gharar, okay, the contracting parties do not really understand the attribute, the characteristic, okay, consequence of the contract that happens to gharar. Under Islamic law, gharar is prohibited because its existence in the contract may deny the parties of equal bargaining power and they cannot make informed decision. Okay, so perhaps some of the party involved will be some party will gain, perhaps another party will lose some of the in the contract. Okay. Okay, provision of gharar in Surah An-Nisa verse 29. La ta'kulu amwalakum bainakum bil batil. Okay. Unjust party created all illegal, defective element in contract including gharar, uncertainty, trade by mutual consent, offer and acceptance indicating consent. Okay, this must consent from both party, buyer and seller. Elimination of mistake, fraud, and etc. So this different between trade and also unjust trade. Okay, or transaction with gharar. And then in the hadith also mentioned about gharar. Okay, a lot of hadith actually. Provision of gharar sale. Okay, the sales contract affected by gharar. Okay, the provision of the sales of fish. Okay, bird in the air, lost item, etc. So there are two types of gharar. Okay, there's excessive or major gharar, gharar fahish, and also we have minor or tolerable gharar yasir. Okay, so only major gharar or gharar fahish will affect the validity of contract. Okay, will make the contract void. Okay, but for gharar yasir or minor gharar, then it's okay. It's considered as acceptable. Okay, acceptable in the trading and also in the business. Okay, application of gharar. Gharar will be affect the validity of contract if it occurs in this area. Gharar in kind. Okay, types, different type, different time, the different attribute, quantity of the object. Okay, we book for different quantity, but arrive, receive, the buyer receive different quantity or different type. Okay, different module, different model. Okay, or due to the delivery time. Okay, change of times. Okay, or dates, or due to the price, mode of payment, and doubt over the ability to deliver. This also makes the transaction involve gharar. Okay, so in order to make sure any transaction not involve gharar, so we must make sure, okay, we have the adequate or full knowledge and information on the subject matters. Okay, the existence and deliverability, its quality, quantity, attributes unknown by both party. Okay, time frame for payment and delivery also known to all the parties. So if when we have all this knowledge and information for particular transaction, then we can avoid the gharar transaction. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, gharar is tolerable if it is trivial or yasir, because in other exchange contracts such as gratuitous contract or not the main contract, so it's considered as acceptable. Okay. Okay, and other things to be avoided. Okay, involve the pork and liquor. Okay, Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 3 and 90, and also maysir qimar. Okay, and then we go to the maysir. Okay, apply to all games of pure chance. Okay, prohibited by Quran in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 90. Okay, this is gambling. Okay, it's also not allowed to conclude contract on illegal community such as pork liquor. Okay, illegal of certain community has been spelled out clearly in the text of Quran and Sunnah. Okay, as I mentioned, okay, Surah Al-Ma'idah. Okay, underlying principle utilized in the design product of Islamic financial market is very important as they separate from conventional product. Okay, so we have different types or different or various contract or akad in Islamic finance, okay, in order to make sure that the Islamic financial market can operate, okay, without element of riba, gharar, and maysir. Okay, we have sale-based products, we have lease-based product, participatory product, and also fee-based product. This type of product or types of contract apply in the Islamic financial market. Okay, we have mutual consent. We need to avoid interest, riba, uncertainty, gambling, and also other prohibition. And of course, we need to lawful contractual objective. Okay. Okay, encouragement of trade by mutual consent. Okay, antaradin. Okay, agreement between two parties, mutual agreement. Okay, the Quran encourage work and trade. In fact, Prophet Muhammad also can consider as one of the trader. Okay, in the past. The encouragement of trade is evidenced by the many instruments of trade available during the Prophet lifetime in Islam history. That's the, okay, we have mudarabah, musyarakah, ijarah, okay, the time, okay, we have wakalah, various type of contract, okay. Contract of sale and purchase, but including all its subdivision like normal or spot sale. We have markup sale, murabah, we have deferred payment sale, the BBA, or now we have, we use also tawarruk, okay. Sales with advance payment but deferred delivery by assalam. Sale for future delivery of goods, al-istisna. Sales of currency, sarf, okay. Some controversial sales, as I mentioned earlier, by alina, by ad-dain, okay. But not specifically in the Quran or Hadith prohibit both contract sales. We learned earlier that in muamalat there's room of innovation, a lot of room for innovation. When there's no specific verses of Quran or Hadith mention about the prohibition of certain contract, so it's acceptable. Okay, that's why some of the Muslim scholar, consider by al-inna, by ad-dain is acceptable contract in the translation. Okay, and then we have profit or loss sharing contract, okay, mudarabah, musyarakah, and then we have new invention, innovation, okay, hybrid contract, musyarakah and musyarakah mutanaqisah, diminishing musyarakah, okay. And then we have public and private project financing, leasing, jarah, endowment, wakaf, baitulmal, modern form of private project financing, operational like lease, financial lease, aitab, al-ijarah, thumma al-bay'. It's also considered as hybrid contract, similar to musyarakah mutanaqisah. Okay, and then we have a guarantee contract based on kafala, ar-rahnu, mortgage, wadi'ah, okay, contract of trust, al-amanah, contract to do a specific task, ju'alah, agency, and we have many more. So this is in the diagram, key Islamic commercial contract, practices contract, trading contract, investment contract, supporting contract. So we have various contracts. Okay, why we have all these contracts? In order to have the similar types of product as offered by the commissioner. Okay. Okay, this just to share some of my books. Okay, Comprehension of Islamic Banking Principle and Operation. This one is last year. Okay, published last year, 2020. Okay, and this is a content, but this one is focused more on Islamic banking. Overview of Islamic banking, deposit facility in Islamic banking, financing facility in Islamic banking. Okay, in Malaysia, we use Islamic banking. Okay, and in Malaysia is Shariah banking. Okay, that one is similar. Okay, and then we have financing facility in Islamic banking, commercial and trade. We have risk management for Islamic banking, Shariah regulatory framework and governance of Islamic banking. We have the regulatory bodies in Islamic banking, product development, Islamic banking, also marketing of Islamic banking product is the content of the book. Okay. Then we have also another book. Okay, if you want to understand more on the Shariah principle in Islamic financial institution market. Okay, we have this, the fundamentals of Islamic financial institution and market. Okay, this one, if not mistaken, 2016. Okay, the book published. And also another book is the Principle and Practice of Islamic Banking and Takaful in Malaysia. Okay, so this is some of the book you can refer. You can go to Shopee, okay? You can directly order if you're interested to know and understand some of the or extra principle of Shariah, how the Shariah govern Islamic financial institution and market, especially in Malaysia and all other area in the world. Okay, that's all from me. So thank you very much for listening. And then now, if you have any question, please ask. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Professors, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof, for your enlightening presentations. Dear students, from the presentation from the professors, you can see that very comprehensive presentations regarding with the Sharia principles in Islamic banking operation or Islamic finance operations. So professor started explaining on the Shariah background of the Islamic transactions, whereby it is coming from the primary sources and the secondary sources. And professors next move to the what is the challenges of the transactions of the transaction that must be avoided by us, whereby he explained about the issue of RIBA, GHARAR, maysir, and others. And the last one, professors also explained about what the contracts, what the Islamic banking or Islamic finance contract that probably can be used in order to avoid that prohibited commercial transactions, including trading transactions, partnership transactions, and many others. So very comprehensive, Prof, and very enlightening. Hopefully students can follow and get some insights from the presentations. And now, because professors has very limited time, so Prof, how many minutes do you still have time left, Prof? Because we have a few questions here, Prof. If you can help.
I try to answer all the questions.
Okay, so I want to invite directly here to ask questions to professors. Brother Ferry, are you still there, Ferry? Ferry, are you there? Ferry Rahmansyah?
Yes, yes.
Okay, could you please directly ask the questions to the professors, Ferry?
Okay. Speak Melayu.
Your voice is not clear, Ferry.
God, I can do.
Ferry, your connection is not that good. Okay, Ferry. Maybe I help you, Ferry, to read the question here. Sorry, Ferry, your connection is not that good. Okay, Prof. The question from the Ferry. Sorry, Ferry. I read in the behalf of you.
Okay.
How to ensure, professors, the compliance of the Shariah principles in connected with the Islamic financial market implementation is Malaysia. I mean, maybe he means that to what extent the compliance of the Islamic financial market in Malaysia in regard on the application of the Shariah rules, professors.
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, actually, we have the Shariah principle mandated long time ago, and then now in Malaysia, particularly, we have the Shariah governance that govern both Islamic banking, takaful, and Islamic market, Islamic financial institution under the Central Bank of Malaysia, and also in Malaysia we have the Securities Commission for fund, shares, and etc. So actually we have the framework, Shariah framework. So the players or the institution need to follow as much as possible for the compliant. Okay, so there's no what we call optional. They must compulsorily follow all the requirement set by the Central Bank of Malaysia, Bank Negara, and also the Shariah Commission. And I believe also in Indonesia and elsewhere in other part of the world, they have the central bank that govern, okay, the Islamic transaction. And then plus, they have the regulation, specific regulation. In Malaysia, we have IPSA 2013, and Indonesia also, they have the specific act to govern the institution, also the market, the players. And of course, we have also the standard, okay, either published by or prepared by the IOP, for instance, IFSB, that make easier for the player, for the practitioner, for the banking sector or Islamic financial institution to follow. They just follow whatever guideline, standard, regulation, the Shariah governance that has been prepared for them. So in terms of the Shariah governance regulation, I believe that most of the country which offer the Islamic financial institution have their own regulation that need to follow by all. So in that case, it's very easy for them to just to follow the regulation. Okay, no need to think or how to develop a new one. No need. Just follow whatever regulation, rules, standard that has been given to them. Okay, that's the easiest step. Okay, compared to 10 years, 20 years ago. Okay, now everything is in the table. Okay, everything's ready for them, just to follow. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prof. That's the questions for this answer from the professors, Brother Ferry. Yeah, so just follow the regulation that has been set up by the government of Malaysia. So inshallah, the government has already had a standard, yeah, in order to ensure that the principle of the implementation of the Islamic finance is in parallel or in line with the Sharia principles. Yeah. Okay, Prof. We have another one question, Prof. Perhaps before because you have very limited time, Prof. I please, Brother Alif. Please, Alif, you can post your question directly to professors.
Okay, thank you, Professor, for coming to give a lesson today. And my question is, in this digital era, sometimes the law is not clear whether it's halal or haram, and one of them is cryptocurrency, where Indonesia is prohibits its use for the next 10 years. Even though the Indonesian Central Bank will soon launch a digital rupiah or central bank digital currency. What is the professor opinion on this case with Islamic perspective, Professor?
Okay, thank you for the good question actually on the cryptocurrency. So actually, the most of the central bank are still not recognize the cryptocurrency because we actually don't understand the mechanism of the cryptocurrency, and there is a risk that the system of cryptocurrency may, jeopardize some of the existing system that we have, the currency system we have. So because of that, so some of the central bank, and I believe Central Bank Indonesia also prohibit the use of the cryptocurrency, including Bank Negara Malaysia lah. Central Bank of Malaysia also until now not allowed to use this cryptocurrency, because in Malaysia we have the law, the only tender for any transaction is ringgit Malaysia. Okay, if you want to use the cryptocurrency, they need to change need to change the law, the existing law, the current law, because the legal tender for Malaysia is only ringgit Malaysia. If the central bank want to allow the use of this cryptocurrency or whatever currency, they need to change the regulation first, the act, okay, on the legal tender. But of course, we don't know the risk, okay, of this cryptocurrency, and then very risk, okay, and then perhaps not not many people who agree to apply or to use the cryptocurrency, because the value is not we cannot we cannot stabilize the currency. So we don't know if you apply or use that cryptocurrency, perhaps it may jeopardize, okay, the monetary policy of the country. So that make the central bank aware, and also take serious and also comprehensive action, okay, to avoid any what we call effect, okay, to the country, because currency is one of the element that need to fully observe, okay, comprehensively we call consider, okay, before any new currency to be imposed, okay, because we don't know the the risk of this currency, okay. So that's why, and then that in that sense also I agree also with the Bank of Indonesia not to allow the use of cryptocurrency until there is certain that other country also, other central bank in the world agree with this cryptocurrency, and then we can use that one. So until there is no agreement of other countries, so we should postpone. So this is 10 years from now, but after 10 years, you don't know, okay, perhaps at that time the thing is going better, okay, cryptocurrency we understand more, okay, and then we can apply in the society. But I'm not sure, okay, in Indonesia. But in Malaysia, it seems that not well accepted, the cryptocurrency, okay, because of the various risks, okay, and then the mechanism to control the currency, and that one is under the responsibility of the central bank of each country, okay. It is very big or huge responsibility, okay. If wrongly, okay, make any action that can affect the currency, that will affect the whole economy of the country. So that's why most of central bank still not give positive response to the use of cryptocurrency in the country.
Okay. Okay, Prof.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Prof, you still have time, Prof, to answer another 2 questions, or your time is finished now?
Okay. If last question. Okay.
Okay. Last questions, please, Brother Rifki and Brother Umran, could you please just give brief questions to professors, please? Rifki and Umran, please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I just want to ask a question. Is there Shariah principle in the smart contract of Islamic fintech? And if there is, can you explain some of them? Thank you.
Okay, the second one, please, before Professor responds. Rifki, your question, please. Hello, Rifki. Are you still there?
Hello.
Yes, Rifki. Hello, Rifki. Okay, your connection is not that good. Yeah, your connection is not that good. Okay, perhaps I can just wait. I help you to read your question here to professors. From Rifki here, Prof. His name is Rifki. I have a question regarding the behavior of the society. We all know that in Indonesia, the Shariah banks just already merged, become one of the biggest bank, Bank Syariah Indonesia, Prof. I think you have heard before. And my question is, even we already merge the bank, how we can influence, what is that? how we want the society to have understand the Islamic bank. Oh yeah, how to make the society more aware about the rule of Islamic bank, Prof.
Okay. So the two questions. Okay, actually, number one is fintech, financial technology. So actually, with regard to fintech, financial technology, there is no specific contract actually, because fintech is just tools to make the transaction smooth. Okay, and then of course, if the fintech offer financing, of course they must observe, okay, not to offer ribawi product, okay, for instance, similar as a bank actually, okay. But financial technology involve many sector and also industry, okay. And Grab food, for example, Grab is one of these financial technology as well. So if we order food or anything or Shopee or whatever, and then we can get our product, okay, as we order, similar to what we have ordered, and the payment is happen accordingly, okay. So there's no issue on that. So it's similar like physical banking. Now we have financial technology. We have physical class. Now we have virtual class, online class. So there's nothing wrong with that, as long as the regulation, all the ethics are followed by all the parties. Okay, so there's no specific contract on that. Okay, and then question number two, to increase this understanding, the awareness of the public. Of course, the bank, not only the bank, the Islamic bank, the Shariah bank, but also the ulama, the scholars have to, what we call, get together, okay, to find the best way to increase the awareness of the. I understand that in Indonesia, the awareness to transact in Islamic banking and also Shariah bank is not much compared to Malaysia. Okay, okay, Malaysia, we are more what we call aware on the importance of the transaction, because there's totally two different transaction, okay, between conventional market with Islamic market, okay. Halal transaction with haram transaction, two different things altogether. So we need to provide a lot of, seminar, talks, okay, sharing. And the responsibility also on you all, the student of UMY also, okay, the responsibility for you to involve, make engagement with the society to show the differences, okay, between Islamic and also conventional banking, Islamic insurance with the conventional insurance, because involve the reward and dosa and pahala, okay, halal, haram. There's two different things, differently, okay. So we need to increase, to make a lot of attempts, programs to increase the awareness, okay. And then also the merge of, okay, the merger is no problem for me, because we can, the small bank can have a benefit of the bigger or more influenced bank, okay, to increase the what we call, to increase this facility of the bank, okay, to make one bigger bank. But if only one, then become the monopoly. There's another thing. So for me, not too many lah, not too many, but still there's need some competition. Okay, not only one Islamic bank, but 2-3 Islamic bank in the country is acceptable. With the big 3 or big 4 is acceptable lah. But not only one lah. Only one become a monopoly, and then the price will be because fixed by the only one Islamic bank. But as I mentioned earlier, we need a lot of attempts, program, engagement with the society, with the public, to make them understand, okay, the importance of transaction trading with the in the Shariah compliant product, services in Islamic banking, takaful. So that's all from me.
Okay,
Thank you.
professors, thank you very much, Supran, for the time. Very enlightening presentations, and I do swear that all the students here have already been given a very brief but very deep understanding on how the rule of Islamic Shariah principles in connection with the Islamic banking or Islamic finance applications. And hopefully, as Professor mentioned before, that the student here can be the delegations or the duta, yeah, for giving the enlightening to the society, so that the people can convince that Islamic finance, Islamic banking is the one of the solutions for the betterment of the Ummah. Yeah. With that, professors, thank you very much again for your coming. I don't expect that you will share with us more than 1 hour, Prof.
Okay.
And we have here more than 50 students before. We have almost 60 before, yeah. And alhamdulillah, the participants made very many. And then hopefully, professors, you can also share again with us next time with another topics. And before we end, Prof, do you have any closing remark, Prof?
Okay, thank you for this session. Good. We have a lot of students involved in this, and inshallah, we look forward for future talk and also engagement program to enhance our understanding actually, on the Sharia principle and also the Islamic value on our banking, takaful, and also Islamic finance. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Before we end the sessions, please, all the students turn on the camera. We will have a short photo session with professors. Could please students turn on the camera or set the camera on? So I will just take one short photo with the professors here. Please, I will waiting for your setting the camera on. Okay, we have two screen here. Okay, first screen, I will take the video. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, first video, first screen, I mean. Move to the second one, the second screen. Please wait. The second screen. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the second screen. Okay, done. With that, Prof, thank you very much for your time, Prof. Stay safe and healthy, Prof. And please send our regards and salam to all the lecturers, colleagues at USIM. Inshallah, we will meet again physically, whether in UMY or in USIM one day, Prof.
Okay, inshallah, inshallah. Bye-bye. See you again.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you all.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Prof. Prof Rizal sends regard to you, Prof.
Okay,
Prof Rizal, our dean.
Thank you. Long time no see.
Yeah. So he said his regard to you, Prof.
Okay. Salam.
Okay, Prof.
Okay.